How's it going, everybody? Incident Circ SG back again with another Dragon video. So today it's more of a web talk slash discussion rather than my usual tabletop kind of review, and we will be discussing more about Dragon's third booster set and fifth trial deck, Gears of Apocalypse and Nature's Wrath respectively. So both of them are coming out on the 2nd of March 2018, so congrats Dragon for making it this far, and we'll talk about Gears of Apocalypse first. So Gears features all colors built by like from the name, right, it's like kind of built for machines because, like, you know, Gears of Apocalypse, machines, and it's a trait that runs in 5 colors, so machines tend to be a little bit more, how do I put it, it's like a fun deck, but looking from the cards at BT03, right, it's kind of moving on to a more aggressive kind of playstyle. So Gears features all 5 colors, so do not worry if you guys do not run machines. There are other cards in there that actually supports those non-machine decks. So this is the Dragon website. If you guys do not know, it's kind of a place where I get some of my information from, and although most of the time I just come here for the videos and the articles and the comic book. So yeah, that's the trial deck stuff. But this is thank you to Augustine for sharing all of these pictures for the newest cards. Although I'm kind of late to make this video, some of these cards actually came out like I don't know, half a month ago, and yeah, this is a Facebook page that I go to all the time to get my Dragon information, Dragon Singapore, and of course I do visit the official Dragon Facebook page. So this is the first card that I saw right off the bat, Hyperion Sovereign Avatar. It's a machine Colossus. So if you are confused about traits, right, trait is actually just one thing here, but if it's a machine Colossus or machine something else, right, it's considered 2 traits. So yeah, if I'm not wrong, it considers as 2 traits. It's an 8 cost yellow card, so it has 3 effects. It's an 8 cost 6/6 double rare. Continuous, when this creature in your hand gets -1 cost for each of your machines. So assuming that you have full field, right, you can potentially summon this guy out for just cost 2, because you have 6 creatures out, just summon, it just replaces a monster, but you do reduce the cost that way. But yeah, it has some on summon effects, knowing that on summon, choose an opposing die and destroy it. So I guess you can use it at 2 or 3 copies to, like, as a utilitarian card, like, oh, come out, poop, and just rush that fort. Even in BT2, right, the machine archetype has always been about, like, End of Tides just clearing out some stuff, and all your other smaller machines just rushing to the forts and taking the game. But Hyperion seems to have everything going on in itself, considering that it's on summon, pop, and when you Drago Cross it, you can actually deal damage to all non-machine creatures. So this is a very machine-based card. I mean, like, just looking at the art, right, it looks like Optimus Prime on I can't remember that dinosaur from the last night, but, or is it some other movie? But anyway, Hyperion seems to be a good card to run at 2 for me, in my opinion, because 1, even though it has a -1 cost, it is nonetheless an 8 cost card, and the stats wise is not that great for an 8 cost, although you can potentially, like I said, get it out for lesser, 2 at best, but you still need resources to call out the other monsters. So yeah, I would run this at 2, maximum 3 if you ask me. But Hyperion, a really cool card to look out for. Optimus Prime, if I would name it, and yeah, seemingly good for yellow. Alright, next card. So now we have another yellow card, more angel support, Giorno, Eyes of Fate. So excuse me, Giorno is a 5 cost rare card. So when this creature is summoned from your hand, put all cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. Isn't it to the bottom of your deck? Anyway, English stuff. Review as that many cards from the top of your deck and summon an angel from among them and put the rest of them into your hand. So if you guys do not know what this effect means, is that if you have 5 cards in your hand, you summon Giorno, you have 4, you put 4 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck in any order you like, then review top 4 cards and summon an angel, then the other 3 put into your hand. So you technically do not lose anything. I would run this at 3. It's a good number to run at 3 because it's a 5/4/4. It's the stats wise it's decent, and the effect allows you to fetch out another monster for free, so it's pretty decent to run at 3. If you want, you can run it at a playset, but the good thing is that you get to cycle your hand. So if your hand is pretty bad, you can just like cycle it, then summon a monster meanwhile. So it's a pretty decent card for a rare, if you ask me. I actually really like this card, art wise. So yeah. Angel of Divine Balance. It's a 3-cost uncommon. So auto, at the start of your turn, you may return this creature to your hand. If you do, choose a cost 4 or 5 yellow or green creature from your hand and summon it. Wow, this card is actually pretty sick. So Angel of Divine Balance, you can summon it at potentially turn 2, assuming that you have augmented cards like Augmented Sniper or Voice of the Living World, which are both from BT02, to like minus the cost of this. You can even get it out at 1 mana and like next turn just bounce, save your cost and just save your resources and just pull out, like, let's say a Sigrun or even a Giorno, since it's a cost 5. So this is definitely a support for yellow green, quite obviously, from this. And yeah, this is a card I'll run at 4, honestly speaking, and it's an angel, so maybe we'll see more angel cards in the future. Next, we get a no cost ambush card, a double rare ambush. So me and my guys, we've been speculating this since the start of DragoBall. Will we get a double rare ambush card? So against all odds, just kind of answers that question. It's a win trade spell. Ambush 2, of course, so your opponent don't guess what you're putting there. All the ambush are at 2 cost. Also, when this spot is attacked, if this guy is an ambush, you may search your deck for it against all odds, put it face down in your ambush zone and shuffle your deck. And yeah, that's one of the effects that probably makes it double rare, because it's always an ambush that will be there. And choose up to 2 opposing creatures, and those creatures cannot attack for this turn. So this is like Dragon's Presence. Alright, if you guys don't know what Dragon's Presence is, it's a ambush card that has the similar effect of like choosing a fort and the creatures there cannot attack. So we're back to yellow being a very binding and pressuring kind of defensive clan, or rather banner, color, whatever you guys like to call it. I prefer calling it color. But oh my god, this guy is actually pretty sick, because like this, you have to run it at 4. I mean, come on, to use it to the max, right? You can just like, you want to attack my 2 forts here, nope. Just keep on using against all odds and just like forcing your opponents to not attack, you know. So this is a really good card to play against Hearst. So if you guys don't know what Hearst is, it's a double rare from BT02 that allows you to summon another creature from the top deck if you can, by like meeting the requirements of cost 2 or less upon attacking. So against all odds, a really good card. I will run it at 4 if you ask me. Love this card. Next, Lady Luthio Venus. Holy shit, when I first saw this card, I was like, whoa, I have to make a deck out of this. So it's an elf by trade. It's a cost 4 double rare. This card is just sick. I really love this card. So elf is getting huge support in this upcoming set and trial deck. So Lady Venus is just kind of the card that centralizes the entire deck. When this creature is summoned, you may reveal 2 cards from the top of your deck, summon a cost 4 or less elf from among them, and put the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. So yeah, you probably put 1 card there, but either way, note that Lady Venus herself is a cost 4, and yes, the name sounds like something else, but I'm not gonna say it. It's Venus, so get it right. You can just, if you stack your deck properly, right, or rather use other cards like Canopy Scout from BT2, or even the Gardener, another homunculus card from blue, from Olus, to like stack your deck properly, right? Or actually Gardener only affects your opponent, but either way, Canopy Scout, you can potentially summon Venus on Venus on Venus on something else. So Venus kind of potentially gives you that hope that you can summon out more monsters for just 4 mana. It's so damn sick. That's not the end of it, man. The Drago Cross Green ability, oh my gosh, when this creature is destroyed, put the top card of your deck into your discard pile. If it's an elf, summon this creature. This card is just sick, man. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite cards from this entire set. It's a double rare. I don't care. It's a sick card. And just look at the art. There's so much going on in the background. Can we just honestly take a moment and just appreciate all of this amazing art that DragoBond is putting out? Like, look at this. The light, the balance, the shadows on this card is so amazing. It's on a 2D it's like on a 2D platform. Oh my gosh. And back to Venus, all the sick combos that you can do with Lady Venus, alright, with the other elves. So elves has just been that really annoying archetype from any game out there, even in Magic the Gathering. So like sort of keep on summoning and just like in a sense reproducing themselves out to the field so damn fast that it just becomes a swamp deck on its own. And it's green, so like you can do so much combos with this. I just love this card so much. It's a cost 4 for 3/4, and the endurance is pretty decent for a cost 4 card. Alright. Heated Confrontation. So finally we are down to some commons. It's a cost 4 common spell card, Aether. So Aether just seems like a interesting name to me. It has the effect of review the top 4 cards of the deck. Put one card from among them into your hand and the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. So we do see a lot of bottom stacking in any order in these upcoming cards. So what I'm thinking is like DragoBond actually caught the attention of like players halving their decks really fast when they run yellow-green. So if you play your cards right, you can actually hit the stack really fast and just like know what you're about to draw, know what you're about to summon. Wink wink Venus. And yeah, so this is similar in a sense. You can think about it as a card by Vanguard Tsukuyomi playstyle where you just stack your triggers at the bottom. So yep, that's not the end of the effect. If you have a yellow banner, put up to 2 cards into your hand instead. So Heated Confrontation potentially gives you 2 cards, assuming that you have a yellow banner. And it's an ambush. So when your opponent plays a cost 4 or greater creature out there, which is pretty much almost anything unless you are like fighting against a Hearst deck. If this guy is an ambush, you may play the card without paying its core cost. So cost. So yeah, pretty good if you ask me. Next, Celadros Deepswell Champion Merfolk. So blue is looking pretty good in these upcoming sets. Initially it has just been a really underrated color that everybody was like, oh, blue card okay lor, what are you gonna do? Bounce my creatures, next turn summon lor. No, Celadros is so different. Celadros is a cost 4 double rare with attack 4, endurance 4, so a pretty all-rounder card on its own, but the effect is just amazing. When this creature is Drago Cross blue, choose an opposing creature or ambush until the end of your opponent's next turn. That card loses all abilities and cannot attack or block. So if you play Buddy Fight, this is basically like on summon Oberon. It's just amazing, man. Celadros is a card that everybody will probably need a couple of copies in the deck for, assuming you run blue, because this is a card I will run at minimum 3, or I will run a playset if I can, because Celadros is just that card that gives you so much push for a control deck, because blue has always been that control deck that again bounces and farms advantage really fast with green. So Celadros, a card to look out for, a card that can potentially change the meta. Run it at 4. Infini, Ancient Automaton. So if you guys have been catching up to the comics or the DragoBond episodes, Infini is one of the cards that actually joins Axel in his little clique to go out and like make a change in the world or something, you know, fight for the greater good. It's a cost 5 machine, so this is not a machine anything, it's just machine. So it's a cost 5 3/3, which is kind of bad, but the fact that you can Fort Burst summon this thing out is pretty good, and it's a rare, so yeah, pretty affordable card if you ask me. And it works the same as the First Daughter in a sense that when you summon a creature, choose an opposing creature that's cost less than or equals to the cost of the summon monster and rest it. So blue has always been that color that bounces, rests, and farms advantage. So this just makes blue so much more defensive. Or run in if you can, or if you use it like correctly, right? This will actually be a game changer, because like if we combo it well with Celadros, right? Celadros is a cost 4, so Infini you can just like rest something, Celadros stuns, nullify something, and that's 2 creatures down already, which is 1/3 of your opponent's playing field, or potentially the whole field if you play your cards right again. So blue is actually much more control-ish and much more aggressive in this upcoming set. It's a color to look out for from now on, so guys, if you have been spitting on blue, right, they're coming back to get your ass. Deepswell Merchant, so it's a uncommon, cost 3 merfolk with a attack of 2, endurance of 4. Okay, when your creature takes damage from a spell, something like Fort Burst Destruction, or let's say Pyroblast or Torch, you may siphon X and reduce the damage taken by X. So you can potentially save a monster and continue attacking, but honestly speaking, I don't really see much use for Deepswell Merchant. It's just one of those cards that are just there to be there for now. Maybe Merfolk will be something special in the upcoming sets. You do not know. So yeah, I'll give this card meh in my opinion. Next, Swordtail Griffin. Welcome to Ambush City. So Swordtail Griffin cost 2, uncommon card, cost 2, attack endurance 2. When this creature is summoned, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, review 1 card of Ambush, put it into your hand, the rest into the bottom of your deck in any order. Note, bottom of your deck in any order. When this creature is Dragocross Blue, the next Ambush you play costs 1 instead. So this card just gets your Ambush out so fast, and going back to against all odds, this card is just sick. Blue has a lot of decent ambushes as well, like EMP, and Reverse Thunderclap is also a pretty decent card. So Swordtail Griffin, a card that will run it at 2 or 3, pretty good card if you are running like a ambush based deck. So like you can run yellow, blue, green. Although the push is not a lot, but the blue should suffice for the push. You can just run a couple of rushy cards. Like green, you can have the elves there to keep on swarming field. So yeah, you can think of a lot of combos with this, honestly speaking. The Exterminator, so it's a cost 2, 2/2 Machine Homunculus. The art just reminds me of Edward Scissorhands, if you guys know that character. Dragocross anything. When this creature attacks, this creature gets +2/+0 for each spell played this turn. So I kinda have to check on the ruling whether ambushes count, because I can just set an ambush. I think that counts as casting a spell, maybe. So that's a ruling check to get back to, and yeah, I guess you can just clear fields very fast, but it's a cost 2, so yeah, pretty decent if you ask me. Nothing much to be said about that. Next, we have a cost 2 uncommon spell called Manipulate. Choose a cost 3 or less opposing creature and all auto abilities do not activate. So again, blue just has all of these amazing cards that are upcoming. It's like they were holding their guns until like the climax of the war, and just like, oh boom, I have all this stuff, what are you gonna do about it? It's a card for a combi deck for yellow, so note that my yellow, blue, green deck for ambush kinda works now. Choose a cost 4 or less, Drago Refer yellow 1 to 3 to like cannot block instead, or Drago Refer blue 1 to 2, draw a card. So Manipulate is a pretty decent card if you are running like specific colors. I'll run it at 3 or 4, but deck spaces probably don't have so much space, so maybe 2 minimum, we'll see. Manipulate is a pretty decent card to run, and it features Rune Lord links, so yeah. Next card, Unexpected Discovery. So this is like a snippet from the comic book or the show itself. This is where Axel and gang finds Infini, which is the card that we talked about earlier. It's a cost 2 techie spell. This card just makes blue so good. Like really, change all values of dice to 1, including yourself of course. This is not considered damage, so like you can't deal any cheesy effects. Drago Refer black 1 to 2, then put all of your opponent's Dragocross dice into the discard pile. So this cuts down a lot of effects. Like really, you can replace this with Sabotage. So this card just makes blue so good. I would run it at 2 for the final turn push, but we'll see what Dragobond has for us installed, because I have a feeling this card would not it's just good on paper, but not as good as you think it is on the playing field. Alright, so now we have some red double rares. Tarboset, Ancient Ruler. So it's a human, so we don't get that a lot in red, but it's a 7/7/7 card double rare. When this creature attacks, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, summon up to 1 creature among them, put the rest of the cards to the bottom of your deck in any order. Dragocross red, when this creature attacks, it cannot be destroyed for this turn. I just get a lot of Demon Lord Butts vibes from this. But either way, this card is just the upgraded version of Hearst, because like instead of like having a specific cost, this check stops 3 for any creature and summoning them. Note that you can summon Izarko or Fafnir to just shoot and destroy shit, like really. And the stats are pretty decent as well at 7/7. So although it's a cost 7, but it's a pretty decent cost 7 to get out there. And this, you can potentially summon into another Task Force Red and just like boom, clear the field. Okay, next we have Galaras Molten Scale Whelp. So it's a dragon, cost 2, double rare, 2/2 stats. Continuous, your creatures do not take damage from opposing spells, so just right off the bat, this card is already a must play. Your creatures, not just this thing, your creatures. So I initially had a lot of trouble with this Albert Sark combo, like Albert attacking, give every creature on your field Slayer, and Carefree Orc attacking, killing your Sark. Sark just deals splash 1 damage to your whole field and clearing your entire field in just an instant. So Galeras is just the answer to that problem, because you do not take damage from spells. Oh wait, spells. So like, you know what? I got a card mixed up. There's actually another card that does what I just said, but you do not take damage from opposing spells. That's pretty damn good. And for a cost 2, right, you get potentially a 5/5 creature, because Dragocross gives you a +1 stat to everything, and Dragocross anything, this creature gets +2/+2, so it's a +3 to all of your stats, so it's a 2 cost 5/5 potentially. Galeras is a really good card. Alright, the Vault of Darkness. So we're finally seeing some machine goblins out there. So according to the story, right, red works with black, green works with yellow. The Vault of Darkness just works on the whole demon and goblin kind of archetype, in a sense that when you destroy this creature, discard 2 goblins from your hand, summon a demon from your hand. It doesn't say pay call cost, summon a demon from your hand. Damn good. Auto Dragocross Black, when this creature is destroyed, reveal the top pair of your deck. If it's a goblin or a demon, add it to your hand, otherwise put it to your discard pile. For a 4/4/4 that is not going to stay on the field, it's pretty decent. But the Dragocross skill is something that I probably wouldn't use, because you are destroying your own dice for RNG thing. Yeah. But note that it's a cost 4, so there's actually a black double rare that I would like to get to say further why the Vault of Darkness is actually a pretty sick card. So now we have Spare Part Collector. It's a goblin. When this creature is summoned, destroy all your opposing blue dice. So it's a really good sideboard card for when your opponent is playing blue. Blue is pretty much a staple in machine, so yeah, this can potentially be a machine slayer. Just this card itself. Now we're moving on to Reckless Raider. So this card is meant for Hearst or Tarwo set, whatever. When this creature is summoned, if it's not played from hand, meaning it's superior called from deck or something else, choose an opposing creature, deal 3 damage to it. So yeah, this can potentially pop something. Take note of that. Goblin Dark Caller, it's a cost 1/1/1 card. Goblin again. The first demon you play during your turn costs 1 less to play. So this is something like Augmented Sniper, Living Voice of the World, the Voice of the Living World, something like that from set 2. But this card just makes red so much better, because red kind of has the problem that they do not ramp or gather resource as fast as the other colors. So yeah, this ability cannot reduce the cost to 0 or less, so do take note of that. No cheesy games. Enrigor Putrid Behemoth. This card is just wow. It's a demon double rare, so this is the card I was talking to you all about for the Vault of Darkness. Auto, when these creatures attack, deals damage to a creature or fort, it deals 2 damage to all opposing creatures. Wow. So this card just makes the Albert Sark combo so much more disgusting, because I mean, like, just the dealing 2 itself, right, is already good enough, assuming that you can just potentially sweep the board. And this creature is pretty damn tanky because, like, it's a 6 cost 7 endurance card. And continuous Drago Cross anything, when this creature deals damage, increase their damage by 1. So, what the heck is this card? The increased 1 damage does not apply to like 4 damage, it applies to the AoE 2 damage thing, so you can AoE 3 damage potentially. So if you got 2 Erigor out on the field, you can just like sweep your opponent's board and just laugh at their faces while their field is empty. Holy shit. Demons a set to look out for, man, really. A Drastics Guard, another demon, so it's a cost 3 1/1. Stats wise not good, but when this creature is summoned, your opponent reviews their hand. You can put a cost 4 or greater card from the hand to the discard pile. So this is just the best anti-Sigrun or Senes card out there, or Evel, or any of those really annoying cards. Like the Elder Dragons are pretty annoying, Sigrun's pretty annoying, Erigor is pretty damn annoying. So yeah, a Drastics Guard, a really good card, although the stats are pretty bad, but it's just one of those cards to like, oh, poop, I'm done, I can just F off whenever I want. So yeah. Junk Heap Gargoyle, so it's a machine gargoyle, cost 3 1/1. Sorry, this video is taking rather long, I'm just trying my best to explain everything in detail, because recovering both set 3 and trial deck 5. When this creature is put into the discard pile from a deck, if you have a black banner, you may summon it. So this card is like, I don't know, what's that card's name? I can't remember that guy's name. There's this demon that, what's that card's name? I have it right here, I think. There's this card that when you can discard from your hand, right, you can just call it back out. It's a monster. Nope, it's not here. But yeah, you can just basically summon this, and machine has a lot of like milling properties. So put from a discard pile to from your deck, just summon it out, pretty good. Yes, Necros the Unending, that's the card I was looking for. So yep. Speaker of Dark Truth, Machine Demon. So this is the card that I will really run it at 3. So it's a cost 2/2. When your other demon or goblin is summoned from your hand, you can choose a goblin from your discard pile and bounce it back to your hand. So this makes the dark goblin, the red goblin, just so much better. You can just like, oh, summon, put back to your hand, discard again. Really good card, and yeah, once per turn, otherwise it will be pretty damn broken. Scorn. So this art is just, let's just take a moment to appreciate it. If you guys do not know who this is Albert, the second in command for Niflheim, which is like the black color. But yeah, he's a slime, so this is, I think, his original form. And this is Holy Lord Elthane, the sexiest knight in Dragonborn. It's a cost 5 rare card. Choose an opposing creature and destroy it. So like right off the bat, just destroy something. If the destroyed creature's endurance was 4 or more, judging by the fact that it's a cost 5 spell, it's pretty much mid game to late game. That's where all of the big monsters like Hyperion, Izarko, Evel are coming out. Your opponent discards a card from their hand at random. So this card is pretty lit in a sense that it makes black so much more annoying to handle with. Black has hand discarding functions, destructive functions, and even resource controlling functions. So yeah, Scorn is a pretty good card. I'll run it at 2 since it's a cost 5. Next, Altar of Dark Machinations. So this card just makes machines so damn good. It's a cost 1 black card. Put up to 6 machines from a discard pile to the bottom of the deck. For every 2 cards you put to the bottom of the deck, stand a card in your resource zone. So like you can potentially stand 3 mana for just a 1 cost. So like you can just keep on summoning out things to like get farm advantage. So that's what machine does. It's a really annoying card if you ask me, but it's so damn good when you're using it. I'll run this at maybe 2 or 3. So yep. What's next? Oh, I think that's the end. So yep, I think that's it for the cards review at BT03. So now we'll move on. We'll just like keep on taking a look. So like yeah, this is Dragonborn Singapore. Yeah, I was at a tournament today, so that's me. It didn't do very well. So oh yeah, here's a new promo, Treatment Drone Machine Insect, pretty decent card. You can just come over to this Facebook page and just take a look. Menacing Manticore. Okay, so this card is just a card to deal with Sigrun, if you ask me. Cost 4, 2/2. When this creature attacks, you may choose one of your creatures and one of your opposing creatures. These creatures deal damage to each other as though they were in battle. So I will run this in black with Kane if you ask me. Kane is a double rare from set 2. So like after Kane attacks, you just clear something, right? Menacing Metacore attacks, Kane attacks. The creature will kill Kane because Kane's defense is absolutely trash. You can ditch 2 cards, Kane comes back, potentially discard Necros for more attacks. So all the combos that you can do with this one card alone is amazing. Yep. So what's next? Kenny Omega Banner. Nephtheria Solemn Jailer. So this card is another annoying card to deal with. It's a Sphinx, cost 4, 3/5. All players can only play cards from their hands. So like there is no against the odds kind of thing. So like yeah, I guess you can just take note of this card. This is a pretty good sideboard card if you ask me. Cleanse. So it's a cost 2 nature card. You can just like destroy ambush. Just if you do not have Elinor or Mischievous Sprite, this is a card that you can think about getting. So yep, I think that's it. Alright, so moving on to TD05. So I'll probably get a couple of these trial decks myself. Nature's Wrath is a pretty decent trial deck. It's a yellow-green trial deck. So these trial decks are just like following the story, because like according to the story alliance, like I mentioned earlier, yellow and green are like an alliance, red and black is another alliance. So this trial deck is the first of its kind to follow the story's alliance. Is this a hint from Bushiroad that TD06 is an alliance trial deck between Taurus and Niflheim? Will not know. But this is the boss of the trial deck, Geese the Unending Fury, 7/6/6 double rare card. This card is just legit freaking awesome, skill wise and art wise. So auto, when this creature is summoned, choose one of your forts with 2 or more barriers. Choose one of your, yeah, correct, and an opposing fort with 2 or more barriers. If you chose 2 forts, deal 1 damage to them. So like you shoot yourself and opponent, I think. Yeah, correct. Dragocross Green, when this creature attacks, choose an opposing fort. Put all the creatures with cost less than or equal to the value of this creature's Dragocross plus 2, which is 8, and like from that fort into your opponent resource zone. So this can clear out an entire fort just on summon and on Dragocross. If you don't know what I'm talking about, right? You summon, you can shoot. So like a 2 from your opponent will become 1, and when you Dragocross Green and attack, right, you can just bounce away that 2 monsters, potentially 2 monsters, alright, and just keep on swinging on that fort. So like this clears a fort on summon, potentially. Geese, you are a sick card. I will run you at 3 at minimum. Watch out. Alright, next card. Treya, Blessed by Fairy. So it's an elf card, another elf card, of course. So continuous, if you have another elf, this creature becomes a 2/3. And continuous, Dragocross Green, all your other elves get +1/+1. So this is like a powerhouse for elves. Really good card. For cost 2, man, Phoenix it's just gonna get played so much. Alright, Fearful Sprite, a fairy, not an elf sadly. So when this creature blocks, review the top card of your deck. If you review an elf, put it into your hand. If you did not put a card into your hand, put it to the bottom of your deck. So like this is not an elf, but it's an elf support, so it's kind of weird, but yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't have an attacking stat, so yeah, it's just there to farm, I guess, to block. When this creature blocks, it gets +0/+1 until the end of the battle, and you can stand this card. So this is a pretty good card, honestly, because of the Dragocross ability. It's when you Dragocross it and activate its effect, it's a 1/4, so you can potentially just knock out something for 1, which is quite rare. But you can just keep on farming out that elf and just like keep on summoning next turn, I guess. And it's a cost 1, so even if you lose it, it's just like okay, whatever. Untested Skull. So we're seeing more elves. Cost 2. When this creature is summoned, review 2 cards from the top of your deck. If you review an elf, choose one of your elves, it gets +2/+2. Venus. Elf is all about Venus. Then put the review card to the bottom of your deck in any order. So this card I will run at 2 maybe, because it's an on summon ability, but the +2/+2 just seems pretty decent. But assuming that you are running let's say Next, please. Yeah, Tria. Then you probably wouldn't need to run so many copies of Untested Scout. Alright, Emissary of Flourishing. So Elf does expand to other colors such as yellow, because you know, yellow green have their own alliance. 3 costs. When this creature is summoned, review 2 cards from the top of your deck. Put an elf from among them to the resource zone and the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. So we're seeing more ramp in yellow, which is kind of a scary thing considering that yellow now currently has to rely on green for more ramp, but Emissary just makes it so damn good. And it's an elf, so Tria can just buff that shit up. And although it's a cost 3/2/2, right, it can potentially be a 3/3, or if you have an Untested Scout, 5/5. So elves are pretty huge if you ask me. I hate to pronounce this thing. Etruscan Angel, whatever. So this is the card that I talked to you guys about that can deal with the Albert Sark combo. Continuous. When your creature takes damage from a spell, reduce that damage by 1. When your creature takes damage, reduce that damage by 1. Drag across anything. So yeah. Oh wait, it cannot reduce the damage to 0 or less. So well, I guess you are dying to Albert Sark then. So Bushiroad, do something about it. It's a really annoying combo. Yeah, Etruscan Angel. That's all to it. Incapacitate. So yeah, cost 2, light spell. Choose an opposing creature you cannot attack or block for this turn. Yeah, it's a pretty all-rounder card if you ask me, because it's a Fort Burst. Play this card without its cost. So like, you can either use it on your turn for the rush, wink wink, elf rush, farm the field, or you can just like use it as a defensive spell. Like if you have, let's say, what's that? I can't remember all these card names, man. Seriously, my brain is just Talisa, the Partisan of Life. So you can have Talisa to just set up your forts. So yeah. Alright, so that's it for this video, everyone. Again, you can come over to DragoBond Singapore's Facebook page to take a look at some of the updates. So we have Geese over here. Note that Gears of Apocalypse and Nature's Wrath are coming out on the March 2nd. So we are literally less than a month away from potentially the strongest set up to date for DragoBond and the best shorter in my opinion. So yeah, save your money, mark your calendars, get excited for DragoBond. Go over to dragobond.com to get more information about DragoBond, and I hope you guys continue enjoying DragoBond, and see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.